Hey YouTube, got a guitar in for repair here. The volume controls had both died. In fact, is it still lying there? No. But basically you could pull, they just spun indefinitely and didn't work, so when you pulled them they just pulled the whole shaft out. Yeah, so I've replaced the volume controls on this. It didn't have a trem bar, and I think this is the right one. I got, if you remember a couple of months ago, I did a Strat and I put mad 60s Japanese pickups in a Strat. And with that, it was somebody had found a guitar in a skip and had taken some bits off it and then kept them for 20 years, and then I got them. Also got this trem bar with it, and I think this is the right one. It fits on, it's got like the proper bolt to secure it. So this is a sort of, I don't know what make this is. I don't see a wee, sometimes you see like a couple of wee screws where it used to have a badge on the front. Sort of generic Japanese, says made in Japan on the back. Sort of like a Mosrite type copy, sort of, maybe like is it a Ventures model? Looks a wee bit, and it's really thin and it weighs nothing. Two on off switches which have were both hardwired to be on, so this guitar only had both pickups on. So I took the switches to bits, fixed them, put them back together again. So I've now got, you can now have this pickup, or both pickups, or off. So I've multiplied the sounds it's got. I've added 3 sounds. That being one pickup, 2 pickups, and the other pickup. It's still got the off sound because it didn't work. It was off when I got it. So these are sort of, I mean, yeah, I'm going to get my luggage scales out because this thing weighs absolutely nothing. So it'll be interesting to see just exactly how nothing it weighs. But I mean, really pretty much nothing. Go on in. That good thing we got onto. That's good enough. Apart from the fact I can't read it, so maybe I'll put it onto the tuner. Not up to that tuner will take it, I'll put it onto the strap. .45 kilograms. So that's my first guitar I've weighed. It comes in at less than 3, so that's pretty damn light. It really feels it. It's wafer thin plywood. A cheapie, but actually I quite like it. It's not too overly elaborate. Sometimes you see this sort of guitar and they're semi-hollow and stuff, and that when you start making them too complicated they don't really work. So this one has a sort of tremolo thing. It's actually got a cover on it. That looks like it might actually come off. I don't want to break it. And cool volume controls that go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it doesn't have the 1, 3, 5 on it. And a sort of bar intonation thing. So the intonation is not 100% on this, but that's kind of the point, really. It's a sort of junk toy guitar type thing. Mad sort of pickups. I don't know whether they're humbuckers or not. I wouldn't think so. Yeah, so, but it does work. I'm going to help it a little bit by using the compressor for the clean. I think there's a skill in playing this sort of guitar. When you don't have intonation, so you have to. Everything's always going to be a little bit wonky sound. That's both pickups. This is just a bridge pickup. D doesn't sound right. Just not play D. D's alright. Doesn't sound right. It does. The tuner's saying it's in tune though. I think that's to do with the fact that it's like non-intonable. Use that E a little bit. And then neck pickup. doesn't have dots on the top of the fingerboard, so that makes it quite hard to play actually. Tremolo on because that's a 60s sort of sound. Try not to bend it. The strings on it this are pretty old, so I mean the chances of the holding tune are pretty low. First pickup. Pick up. Don't like tremolo. Not doing very much, but I don't like it. Yeah, so we'll just sort it straight up the fuzz pedal. Does anything? Subtle difference. Trim goes up as well. Let's pick up. the tremolo just seems to work quite well, and it's sort of holding tune, apart from that D. I think that's to do with the fact that there's no intonableness to it. I think that is that bridge actually, as the bridge is screwed down, so you can't even angle it, which I think might be actually. Oh, it's miles away. He's all right, sort of. Just really. It's the G is miles away from being in tune. So what I'm going to take a photo of this and stick it on the vintage Japanese guitar fan club and find out what it's actually called. 24 3/4 scale, so it's also these pickups are incredibly microphonic. I wonder if is it picking up the computer? No, it's just buzzing away on the first pedal. Normally that pedal does that. I don't know what's causing that bad cheap pickups probably, so maybe not the sort of thing you want to be playing through a Marshall stack at a gig. But I can see this being quite a cool for a sort of garage, sort of cool band. I mean, Jack White would go all over something like this, I would think. It's a much more aggressive first pedal, that one, isn't it? Try normal. So I know you get a lot of people are mad into their vintage Japanese instruments. This isn't the sort of thing I would normally go for though. It's a bit of a quirky, I think you'd say. But I think there's definitely a place for it. As long as it's cheap. I mean, this is the sort of thing, if you see this sort of guitar that's in this sort of neck working, or sort of 50 quid or something like that, you can't really go wrong. Good fun. Oh, that pickup could maybe, what I think I'll do is I'll stick some wee foam blocks in that, because that's it's not screwed into the body. I wondered what that noise was. It was squeaking a little bit. Might just see what that's gonna. I don't want to snap and break the screws. Still a bit on the sort of microphonic. I can sort of see a punk band playing this guitar, but the point is to be. And you really need the fuzz pedal to make it work. Because that was me, just turn up. There's so little output. You can barely hear it. fun there. If you put a D, just play that one. I think we spent a wee bit of time actually learning to play this one a wee bit. Obviously you can't thump it, you can't palm mute because there's a not that you're going to be palm muting this. No, actually I'm going to. I can sort of see why folk are into these sort of guitars. They are fun. I mean, it's a fun little thing. Little being the very much the operative word. And it weighs absolutely nothing. I mean, it really is. It's absolutely. What I said, was it 2.5 kilograms or something like that? Going for thinness. It is. And I remember wondering before just how little wood you need behind a neck pocket. And it's like you can't get much more little than that. Look at that. It's like 10 mil of neck there, and it's survived. I mean, it's like, you know, I can. It's like you shouldn't be able to hold a guitar like that. It doesn't seem right, does it? It's survived since the 60s, 70s. This, I don't know. Yeah, fun. So I'll look up. I'll ask in the Japanese fan club if anyone knows exactly, if it knows what model it is. I think it's probably one of those ones that comes in. Lots of shops will have put their own badge on it, or it comes unbadged. Maybe, and obviously someone's going to tell me it's a Tesco or whatever it is, but I don't know. A fun thing. That's a hell of a gap there down the side of the deck. Actually, looking at it. There, I mean, it's like you can get a pick in there, no problem. Probably quite a quick pick. I'm just gonna get something even thicker than that in. Do I have anything that's thicker than that? Not really, but that doesn't seem to matter. So I wonder if someone's actually been adjusting this to make it play, because it's surprising. In fact, apart from the fact the electrics didn't work, it does play all right. So I wonder if Ronnie's maybe been in at this and, you know, sort of set it up and shimmed the neck or whatever to make it, because I mean, it's got a decent action on it. What I would do, if I'll just tell it to Ronnie, who's the guy who owns it, I would probably get a wee bit of sponge or something. In fact, I saw there's some green shit floating about in here. It looks like stuff off a snooker table. I wonder if there was, like, in the 60s, some sort of bit of foamy, green foam rubber that the pickups were mounted on to stop them squeaking. I think that's maybe worthwhile doing that. I don't know if I've got any. If I can find them, I'll give you them. When you buy new windows for the house, I used to be a builder, so I used to keep you get wee sort of sponge squares, wee blue squares, well, they're normally blue, like on the panes of glass, so you don't, you know, just so you can lay them on top of each other. I'm always picking them off and just keeping them all. because they're so useful for this sort of thing. So I mean, one of them behind that, screw it back in again, I think that would stop it vibrating, being quite as microphonic as they are. But there's not really anything you can do with a guitar like this apart from make it work. I'm going to place this tremolo bar fitted as well. I think it looks great, and the tremolo surprisingly works. And it's quite reasonable. It doesn't. It's stiff enough that you don't, when you bend a note, it's not enough to move it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I often get that with Floyd Rose's. You know, you bend a note up and the whole bridge dives, which just puts any fretted notes or any open strings completely out. And I don't think there's really any way to fit. I mean, it's like, where'd you start thinking, oh, right, did I put better tuners on it? And it's like, well, these tuners are holding, so I wouldn't bother. You can't ditch these pickups, really. You can't put humbuckers in it or something like that, because you end up, once you start upgrading things, and the same with the bridge, you know, you start thinking, oh, can I put like a tunematic bridge on there? Like a roller tunematic bridge? And yes, you could, and it would help, but once you start doing that, you're just going to end up having to upgrade every single bit, then you're going to have to upgrade the neck, and then you're going to buy a new body, and you're going to end up just with another guitar. So basically this is just, you want to just keep this sort of thing the way it is, and working, and if you can make it work like this, then it's a valid thing. And I can totally see how somebody, there's actually one chap I'm thinking of particularly who's probably watching this, plays, he's got lots of like really, really expensive guitars. I bet you something really shit like this, but if you know what I mean, I don't mean shit in a derogatory term, but I bet you would find a use for this. I bet you'd be able to do a solo on this one when you're recording, and it would be like, it wouldn't sound like any of the other guitars. Kind of not that, maybe sort of in the same ballpark as that Jaguar I had a couple of weeks ago, apart from crap. But the crap thing is you know, you don't, being in tune and all that's overrated. You know, having a wee bit of character in it, you know, make it sound pretty good, man. Rock and roll, and hope you're all doing well with your isolation. I think I might take a wee run out to Lidl and see if I can see if they've got any food. I could do with some food. I'm kind of out. I think I've got one frozen pizza left. Fun. Rock and roll.